Everything in Texas is big. Its size, its stories. It stretches over 800 miles from end to end, and its borders touch 4 U.S. states. Within its boundaries are mountains and marshlands, beaches and deserts, forests and flatlands. This is Texas. The people here are just as diverse. Texas is now home to more than 30 million residents, a majority minority population. One of the youngest in the nation. They speak dozens of languages and carry with them cultures from around the world. Long before it was called Texas, this land belonged to indigenous nations, including the Comanche, Apache, and Caddo. In the 1500s, Spanish explorers arrived. Mexico took control in the early 1800s, but Texas would not be ruled for long. In 1836, it declared independence from Mexico. And for nearly a decade, it existed as its own nation, the Republic of Texas, with its own president, its own flag, and its own laws. In 1845, Texas joined the United States. But its spirit of independence never faded. Today, reminders of the past are everywhere. The Alamo still stands in San Antonio, once a mission, then a battlefield, now a symbol. But Texas is not just a story of frontiers and flags. It's also a story of power. In West Texas, oil pumps rise and fall with the sun. Houston became the energy capital of the world, and in 2021, the state's independent power grid made headlines across the globe. Texas is the only state in the continental U.S. with its own grid, disconnected from the rest of the country, a choice made to stay self-reliant and sometimes to stand alone. But energy isn't all that drives Texas forward. Its cities are centers of innovation. Austin has become a hub for tech, Dallas for finance, San Antonio for culture and tourism, and Houston for aerospace. At NASA's Johnson Space Center, Americans took their first steps toward the moon. The command, "Houston, we have a problem,"
Houston, we have a problem,
is now part of the national memory. Across the state, traditions run deep, from rodeos to barbecue, from country music to Friday night football. This is a place where heritage is not just remembered, it's lived. But the Texas landscape tells its own story. To the west, the mountains of Big Bend rise against the sky. To the east, pine forests stretch toward Louisiana. The Gulf Coast shimmers with salt and humidity. And the hill country blooms with wildflowers each spring. In Palo Duro Canyon, the second largest in the United States, wind and water have carved red rock into deep ravines. A monument to time. Texas is both modern and mythic. A state that moves fast, but never forgets where it came from. It's a place where past and present share the same space. Where cattle drives and data centers coexist in the same town. A land too big for just one story. Too bold to be defined by one idea. A state of extremes. A state of dreams. And a state that still feels like its own country. This is Texas. Let us know in the comments what state we should cover next. And if you're enjoying the journey, don't forget to like and subscribe for more.